Hey everyone, it's Argonath here from Return of the Fan, and I'm going to do a quick review of Spider-Man No Way Home. I just saw it yesterday and really enjoyed this movie. So I'm going to have the trailer running in the background just to provide a bit of visuals. So if you haven't seen the trailer, you don't want to see the trailer because you're going to still see the movie. This is a completely no spoiler review. So feel free to look away so that you don't actually see the visuals of the trailer. I won't have the sound going or anything. Alright, really awesome movie. Not the most perfect movie ever, but really fun and enjoyable movie. Normally, I try to give Disney as little money as possible after the way they've treated fans and treated people like Gina Carano and so on. But considering 75% of this movie is funded by Sony, so it pretty much really is a Sony movie just made by Marvel, I thought I'd give it a go. And I'm really glad that I did. I'm not really a fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man version. Always enjoy the Tobey Maguire version. I think he's the greatest of all time for Spider-Man. He's my number one. Really love Spider-Man 1 and 2. Spider-Man 3 wasn't that great. Didn't really like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. Um, so I didn't really like those particular ones. And Tom Holland comes in kind of the middle between Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. The good thing about this movie is there's completely no political messaging, no woke bullshit in this movie. So if you're like me and you don't want that kind of stuff in your entertainment, then this movie fits the bill perfectly. Just a good story. Well, not the greatest story ever, but once it gets going after the initial premise, it is a pretty good story. No woke stuff, no political messaging, that kind of stuff, which is really good. Now you'll see there will be some villains that appear from previous movies, which is really great. So there's a particular reason why they appear, and I think in this case Marvel has handled that pretty well, or Marvel and Sony, which is good. And it kind of, after the initial premise, the story kind of makes sense, so it's not so bad in terms of the story is really awful or anything like that. But you do need to suspend your brain sometimes for the story to kind of occur. But it is a superhero movie anyway, so we don't expect too much from these particular movies. So the villains were awesome. Alfred Molina is excellent. Willem Dafoe is just absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed him as one of the villains in this particular movie. And so it really gives Spider-Man a really good good villains to fight against, which is really awesome. Now, one thing that you normally don't get too much with a lot of Marvel movies is really good emotion in the movies. Now, you don't really get it in the first third of the movie, the first 45 minutes. Oh, I guess that's probably half. Um, it's kind of standard Marvel fare, kind of dumb Marvel jokes and that kind of stuff that appear. But once the villains start appearing, it's really awesome. It kind of has a different feel for it, and it actually really does feel like a real Spider-Man movie, which is really awesome, which is what I'm good to see. And kind of a minor spoiler, but one of the nice things is that Spider-Man relies more on his actual spider skills rather than relying on his spider suit that's given to him by Tony Stark and so on. Because I think Spider-Man is always about his spider powers and slinging webs and doing things like that. So yeah, there's some really good emotional scenes in this movie. I can't really talk too much about it because it'll give away spoilers, which I don't want to do. So I want you to feel it. And there were times in my showing anyway that people started clapping in the movie during the movie, which was really awesome as well. So certainly I ended up clapping at one point in the movie. And there's some really good emotional scenes. As I said before, Tom Holland really gets to prove his range as an actor. You don't really get it from the first two Spider-Man movies from Tom Holland, but this time through, because of what happens, he really gets to show that emotion, which is really good to see. So I hear that might be coming in for the next trilogy of Spider-Man movies, which would be kind of cool, because I think he's kind of grown a bit into the character now, and the character's at a point which I actually quite enjoy. Probably because this is a Sony movie rather than a Marvel Disney movie. There's a really great finale at the end, fighting all the villains and so on. Again, I'm not going to give away anything about that, but it's pretty cool. But the ending after the finale happens is really, really good, and I think it shows us that Spider-Man has really transformed from just being a little kid to actually being a man. And I really enjoyed the ending. I thought it ended perfectly for what I would think Spider-Man would do. But you have to go and see the ending to really take in what kind of happened. So I'm really happy about how the movie finished, and it ended really well from my point of view. Um, so there you go. That's my very quick take on Spider-Man. I can't really talk too much more about it. You just really have to go and see it. I highly recommend that you do go and see it in the theatre. It is a movie that's well worth spending your money on. Um, so, you know, make the time, make the effort, put some money aside, go and see this movie at the theatre with your family. You won't be disappointed, in my view. I guess if you really hate Tom Holland as Spider-Man, then you're not going to enjoy the movie too much. I didn't really hate him as Spider-Man, I just didn't really like his performances compared to Tobey Maguire. But I do think he's a lot better in the second half of this movie. So I think that you'll probably enjoy that as well. So go and see this movie. It's highly recommended. I mean, if I have to give it a number, I'd probably go for something like 8.5 out of 10. Um, so I'd love to know what you think. Have you been to see it? Let me know in the comment section. I will be doing a spoiler video just to talk about some of the things in the movie that I want to talk about, which I can't do without spoiling the movie. So feel free to comment in that section as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give it a thumbs down. And if you like my content, then please subscribe as well. And here's hoping that Marvel learns their lessons and stop making woke crap and start making movies like Spider-Man No Way Home, which everyone can enjoy, and there's no overt political and far left ideological messaging in the movie, which is what we all want. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hopefully I will catch you in the next video. That's all from me. Catch you next time.